Don't even apologize. Shit happens. I know something that might make it better for you, though.
What?
You ready? You ready for this shit?
God.
You ready?
You're standing.
Oh, I'm not just standing.
Oh!
Look who's been doing her physical therapy. Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. Look who's been doing the work. Yeah, it's me.
Where'd you go?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back the hallway.
Alright.
Okay. I'll permit you to use your own
I'm gonna walk,
facilities.
I think.
Okay. Okay.
I'm gonna try anyway. That was actually one thing I wanted to ask you about is maybe changing my pain medication.
Okay.
And I'll explain why when we get to that part, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sitting in my wheelchair.
Hello. You're not sitting in a wheelchair. I am so the polar opposite of you when it comes to go. I like cherish my I need to sit down and not do anything time.
Oh, see, I can only do that with Liam because if I try to do that on my own, my head gets filled with a lot of like negative shit, and so staying busy kind of helps me to I don't want to like using the word distract myself from it, but it helps me to not dwell, I guess is probably the better way to say that, on negative things. So
that makes sense.
There's been a lot that's gone on since last time I saw you.
Yeah.
Obviously been doing all my PTs. I've been really like literally the day Patrick told me I was good to start PT again, I've just been hitting it so hard because even the 2 days after surgery, I felt such a difference.
Good.
You know? And I was like chomping at the bit to get like back to work. And what I've noticed is I'm pushing myself, but I'm trying really hard to not overdo it. But I want to push my boundaries at the same time. You know what I mean? Because I have a goal. A lot of good things. Obviously, I've been working hard. Been really successful getting back into my business and everything. I made $10,000 last weekend selling plushies.
Oh wow! Okay.
Because people love a collectible. Let me tell you, especially when you tell them I only have 20, and that's it.
People are fucking hoarders, man.
They are. But it works out for me profit-wise. Yeah, so we've been doing, we're doing like Halloween events every weekend this month, and there's going to be like an exclusive collectible for each event that's only going to be offered at that event, and if they can collect all 4, then they will earn like an ultra rare item that is not going to be sold. It's more of like a thank you gift.
Okay.
So there will be even fewer of those out in the wild, as it were.
That's so sick.
So yeah, that's kind of been like the business plan this month, and that's been good. That's been keeping me busy and everything. Working on new music as well, so that's a thing that is happening. But obviously Liam's been stuck on the mainland for the last few weeks, and that's kind of a bummer. It's out of his control. We text every day. You know, we try to video chat where we can, try and stay in touch, let him know what's happening here, and talk. We're still having those lines of communication be open. It's just, if I had my way, he'd be here, but I understand why he's not. So probably the thing that's been the hardest for me though is Nicole's been admitted to ICU. I'm sure you probably either saw or heard about her accident, Nicole Green. Shortly after the whole thing with Steven, she asked me to be a part of her family. So she adopted me as like a daughter, And that's been really nice to kind of get to know a new family and everything. She had an accident a couple of weeks ago. She fell down Chiliad. She got put into a full body cast, and she's been in ICU. The reports that we have been getting, and by we I mean my brothers and I, the reports we have been getting are that her ability to walk might not ever fully come back. And it's like when I read those words in the text, the group text, it kind of hit a little too close to home for me. I'll be honest. So I haven't really been coming around to see her. I have been here. She woke up the other day, and I was here when she woke up. But it's been hard for me to see her that way because it, like I said, it hits too close to home for me.
Right.
You know? And I don't think she's had a lot of support, so I feel torn. I feel like I should be there for her, and I should be able to, or I should be there for her. I ought to be there for her and support her as best as I can. But it's, mentally I'm having a block on that.
Your empathy can only go so far. You can absolutely empathize with the situation at hand. But you're not at the stage in your recovery yet where you can fully empathize. And,
or be a good support system for her.
Yeah.
But I feel terrible because I know, I just feel terrible because I don't think anyone else has been there for her.
You think she loves you any less because of it?
No, of course not. Okay. I just don't want her to feel unsupported. That's where I'm feeling torn. But at the same time, I recognize that my desire for her to not feel unsupported cannot come at the expense of what I'm trying to deal with still.
You know there's other ways to support someone other than just sitting with them in a hospital room, right? You can run around and, run errands for her if she needs things done. You can.
And I absolutely will if it's needed. I in fact, when I was visiting with her, I could hear her stomach rumbling, and I was about to run out and grab some food for her. Before Dr. Gemma stopped me, and he was like, I don't think that's such a good idea right now because of the ventilator and some medications and whatnot. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But I was completely willing to go and do that for her. And if she needed me to do anything else, if it was within my power to do, I would do it. Hands down, without any hesitation,
Well, knowing that, I don't think she would feel unsupported at all.
Okay. That makes me feel a bit better then, because that was kind of my biggest worry.
She's 100% the type of person you can have that kind of conversation with, too.
She's on so much painkiller right now, and she's still on the ventilator, so I feel like, yes, we can have the conversation, but I don't know if right now is, where she's gonna... Yeah.
Be receptive to it,
or just be cognizant and aware is my whole thing. I got a new job as well, on top of everything else.
Okay.
I got hired as a court clerk because apparently my name got recommended for it. I didn't go out searching for that job. It just kind of fell into my lap.
Okay.
I am not 100% sure I'm going to continue to do it, though. Just because I'm good at paperwork and I'm good at organization, which is 99% of what that job is. My thing, and I think it's because, I realize this, and I'm trying to readjust some things so I'm not so I don't get back to where I was in June, which was completely out of whack and overworked and burnt out. I have a lot on my plate because I'm trying to run a business. I'm trying to focus on my recovery. My plan is just to try and take a small step back and breathe and be like, all right, what is on my plate today? What is my priority list of things I need to get done? And do I have time for extra things? And if the answer is no, then I need to put my MDW down. So,
not a bad system.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna do if you feel like your workload's getting too much?
Quit. And just be honest and say, I'm running a business. I'm working as an artist. I'm writing music. I'm planning events every single fucking weekend. There's a lot. I'm doing a lot at the moment, and I can't commit myself to this the way I thought I could. So,
okay.
If something has to give, that will be the thing to give. But I've already made that decision, so.
Good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else within the last 2
I think that pretty much covers it all. Like I said, there's been a lot going on. Mostly good though. So I'm trying to celebrate the progress I've made and not dwell on the negative shit too much, and just kind of be more reflective on the negative things and kind of figure out, okay, what can I do to make it better, instead of just, instead of just like getting angry or letting my anxiety win, or feeling overwhelmed to the point where I feel like I'm paralyzed with too much shit. So I'm trying to just take baby steps and manage. So
okay, feels like we're kind of doing the therapy portion first. So I'll ask.
Okay.
I am completely fine with it.
All right.
If you are also.
I am completely fine.
Okay. I just want to ask.
Yep.
Have you given any thought to how you're feeling about the whole victim thing? It's okay if you haven't. I know it's been a couple weeks of good, which is fantastic. Okay.
The thought has creeped into my head, and I understand logically why I should consider myself one, but for me, I still don't think I can accept it, because to me it equates weakness, and I've worked my whole life to be not weak, and I can't allow myself to backslide, I guess.
Why would it be considered a backslide?
More so has to do with my biological family. I disowned them. They didn't think me wanting to do music was very practical. They didn't see a career opportunity in it for me, and they thought I was just wasting my time. But they also always underestimated me, and they never thought I could do anything. So they were, I was always treated. I was the black sheep of the family, and so I was always kind of treated as the screw up. Anyway, and I could never kind of do anything right. So it's just they just kind of saw me as weak and incompetent. So I ran away when I was 16. I never went home, and here I am now. So, just spent every day since then trying to prove to myself that I am not the things that they said I was.
But even with talking to you for 2 minutes, you've already proved it.
Yeah, I know.
You don't really have anything to prove to anyone.
I have to prove it to myself. I'm not doing this for anyone else other than me. As much as I love Liam and I want to, he is a big motivating factor on why I'm trying to get better and be better. Ultimately, at the end of the day, for me, it comes down to I'm doing this for myself. because I need this.
But you realize weakness isn't a detriment.
Weakness is how people take advantage of you. And that's what happened to me.
It's also an opportunity to grow and learn. It's an opportunity for reflection.
Fuck, she's making me cry for real.
An opportunity for growth and change and the blossoming of relationships. So many good things come out of weakness.
I hate feeling vulnerable because I feel very exposed. And that's the time when I get hurt the most.
Being exposed is essentially going to always end up getting hurt. Or it can be a repeat offender.
It fucking happens every therapy session.
Vulnerable people can have the potential to create so many good things.
I know, I agree with you. I can be very vulnerable when it comes to my music. I haven't really been lately. I think it's a reflection on me trying to just push myself to... I just want to feel normal for once. And so much of the time since it all happened, I really haven't felt normal at all. And I mean, like, who's to say what is normal, right? What I mean by that is I haven't felt like... I just want to feel like myself again. I want to feel like that bad bitch who could do whatever she wanted just because she said she could do it.
Never left.
I'm starting to feel it again, and I'm holding on to it so hard. But it's like, I can't... If I let myself be vulnerable right now, I feel like I'm gonna lose it all again.
I think the thing that you need to glean from the entirety of it is learning when to be vulnerable. Accepting that it is okay to be vulnerable. Finding those comfort people to be vulnerable with.
I don't want it to sound like I'm trying to make excuses, because I'm really not trying to make excuses. It's just outside of Liam and then our therapy sessions and maybe, talking to Q, I really just don't have full trust in people anymore. This has really rocked my foundation of reality, I guess.
Start with baby steps. Just tell them little things. You don't have to fully open the floodgates right away.
Yeah.
Not everyone needs your comprehensive background and, all of your personal details on the first date.
Yeah. That's true. My problem is I've always been a heart on her sleeve kind of girl. And, I mean, yeah, I've always just been an open book for people. Because it's just, I don't know, that's just how I've always been. I've never had anything to hide, so I just want people to know who Lola is, and so shit like, when this happened, it made me kind of feel like, well, I still want people to know who I am, but I also don't want to trauma dump, and then I don't want them to think that, it just started this mental spiral of negative thinking. I don't know, This is the part where I start getting what this is honestly more than loud noises and gunshots and explosions at Ramathon. This is the shit that still gives me anxiety.
It's okay. It's some very scary shit. I always tell people we were so blessed as humans to have the gift of communication, but we are so bad at it, and it is terrifying.
Yeah. I love Ellie. She's so good.
The most difficult thing we have to do as people is communicate. Hope that we're doing it effectively.
Hopefully that the message we're trying to convey is the same message that's being received by the other person. Because sometimes things get lost in between.
I thought about maybe writing just like a full, not like a book, but like I guess just a paper on your piece or on your experience.
The thought has crossed my mind. I think I told you before that normally I write my music based on, like, I write about my life. You know, pretty much all except for maybe a couple of my songs. Everything I've ever written has been based on something that either happened to me or something that influenced me, or even this most recent one, right? The Neon Girl. I literally took a fictional character I made up in my head when I was 7 years old and turned that into a song. You know? And so I feel it's in there, and I feel like it is going to come out eventually. Okay. But I just don't feel ready yet.
Okay. That's okay.